You're driving down a dusk country road when out of the corner of your eye you see a massive 7-foot creature with a 10-foot wingspan and glowing red eyes. If you have any interest in cryptids whatsoever or American history, the tale of the Mothman is extremely interesting. I don't want to prove or disprove anything, that's not why I'm here. As Tara Isabel Burton states in her article, Desperately Seeking Mothman, neither technological progress nor scientific expansion can expunge the delightful possibility that the abominable snowman, or Bigfoot, or the Mothman might well be out there. I want to focus on the first initial sightings / the most interesting bits of information, the collapse of the Silver Bridge, and finally the aftermath of it all. From November of 1966 to December of 1967, a creature prowled West Virginia. This creature became one of the greatest cryptids in folk history. The man, the moth, the myth, the legend, the Mothman. I think the documentary, The Mothman of Point Pleasant, for most of my information from here onward. The first sighting of Mothman occurred on November 12th, 1966. 5 men were digging a grave when they saw a man-like flying creature. On the second sighting occurred on November 15th, my birthday of 1966. Roger and Linda Scarberry, as well as Steve and Mary Mullet, spotted a similar massive gray creature with glowing red eyes. It trailed their car for several miles, and they reached speeds of 90 miles per hour, and the creature kept up. That is terrifying. After these first 2 initial sightings continued for 13 months after and came pouring in by the hundreds. One of the prime locations for these sightings was known as the TNT area, which used to be a munitions manufacturing factory, but that was abandoned after World War II. According to quoting the Mothman of Point Pleasant documentary, shortly thereafter, it became a dumping ground for chemicals and toxic waste before being given to the state to use as a wildlife reserve. Yeah. So it's no wonder that people speculate that the Mothman is just an overgrown mutant owl or crane. Though some people believe that it has more supernatural qualities. Some people speculate that it's an angel, a devil, a demon, or an alien. Speaking of aliens, during the time of the Mothman sightings, several US UFOs were seen in the West Virginian sky. Strange men in strange black suits were asking strange questions. And even in Parkersburg, West Virginia, a man named Woodrow Durenberger claimed to have encountered a crashed UFO and a creature calling itself Injured Cold. The supernatural activity during this time period was absolutely buck wild. Now, this is where things get a little sad and dark. With the collapse of the Silver Bridge. On December 15th of 1967, just 10 days before Christmas, the Silver Bridge collapsed. It connected Point Pleasant, West Virginia to Cayuga, Ohio. Around 5 o'clock in the evening, a light on the bridge went out, causing quite a bit of traffic. The cable on the bridge broke, dumping the cars atop it into the freezing Ohio River. And then what remained of the bridge fell on top of those cars. 70 vehicles were plunged in and 46 people died. After this, talk of the Mothman screeched to a halt. Though, sometime after, people claim to have had dreams and premonitions of the collapse before the collapse. And some people even said they had seen the Mothman there at the bridge when it collapsed. Whether or not these claims are true or not, the Mothman is still heavily attributed to the collapse of the Silver Bridge because of the Mothman's sort of pre-existing tie-in with tragedy. Years passed, and the story of the Mothman exclusively presided in the Pleasant Point area. though, that didn't last long. So many people had so many odd experiences, and thanks to reporters like Mary Hyre and John Keel, the story lived on and spread. The popularity of the Mothman is often attributed to the movie Mothman Prophecies, seen down here, based on a book of the same name by the aforementioned John Keel. Since the Mothman Prophecies was popularized, it has been seen in many different kinds of media. There's even a petition to have every Confederate statue in America changed to a statue of the Mothman, and regardless of political opinion. That's just funny, and you bet I signed it. As detailed by Terror in the Skies, a documentary, there have also been more recent sightings in Chicago. These sightings started in 2011 and peaked in 2017, though it is debated if these sightings were actually of Mothman or just some sort of copycat phenomena. Pleasant Point, of course, reacted to all of this new attention and saw it as an opportunity to make money and bring in tourists and educate those tourists on the subject of the Mothman. A museum was opened up, and a statue was built. And for some reason, this statue is ripped. It's shredded. It's got a six-pack. I have questions. Regardless of the statue, there is also a Mothman festival that draws in 10 to 12,000 cryptid-loving tourists to the Pleasant Point area each September like moths to a flame. I have not been to this lovely festival, but I would very much like to. As I have said, I am not here to sway you one way or the other as to whether or not the Mothman exists or not, because what matters is just the story. It's fascinating. Thanks to the Mothman, Pleasant Point, West Virginia is also now a tourist destination on the map, and its history is now fairly known. As the jacked Mothman statue says, it still sparks the world's curiosity, the mystery behind Point Pleasant, West Virginia's the Mothman. It still sparks the world's curiosity. That, if anything, I think is what should be taken from this tale. Be curious. Curiosity leads to discoveries that expand the human mind and push our species forward. Lust for the unknown makes us who and what we are. Also, a lust for those stellar abs. What a way to close.